and welcome to my channel. Today I'm bringing to you the second card in my 5-part series of pop-up cards. It's one of the most popular type of pop-up cards and also one of the easiest to make, and it is this. It is a pop-up box, and as you can see, it has lots of dimension to it, but it also folds flat for when you're ready to post it. As I said, it's quite easy to make, and you can have tons of fun making this. If you'd like to learn how, stick with me and I'll show you how. I've chosen this piece of lovely blue American Craft cardstock. I didn't even have to cut into a new sheet because this was an offcut from another project, so it already measured 6 by 12, which is what you want to start with. I put it in the scoreboard, and I'm going to score it at 2 7/8. So 2 7/8 for the first score. The next one will be 5 5/8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then 8 1/2. And finally 11 1/4, which will leave us with this tab on the end here. Then we're going to turn it to the short side. We're simply going to go right down the middle at 3 inches. And there is our scoring done for that. Now we can fold and burnish these score lines. We've got these vertical ones, and then the one horizontal going through there. Now this tab here, where the rectangle is, we want to just take that completely off. So we take this off, and we'll leave this as our little glue tab. So I'm going to actually just angle that up a bit as well. Same on that end. And then I can just completely remove that. Now, I want to also fold it back like that, so that we be able to fold that as we need to later on. Now these lines here, these score lines, will be cut down next. So I'm just going to probably see it better from this side. I'm going to come down to that score line there, the 3-inch score line, and stop. So I've got 1, 2, and 3. Now this is going to form is, this tab is going to come in here like so, and these pieces are going to come forward like that, and I'm going to leave this one erect so that I can have a taller back there, but the whole thing will still fold flat. Now it's easiest to decorate this while it's still flat. You could of course put it together first if you like, but we're going to do our mats and layers next. I also have the 3 bridge pieces, or bars, whatever you would like to call them. that are going to go into the middle of the box, like this, and they are going to hold the various elements that will be popping out of the box card. They measure 3 7/8 by 1 inch. You could have it cut to 3/4 of an inch or 1/2 inch, whatever you like. But I've cut mine at 1 inch, and then I've added an inch to the length of each of these sections, these panels. So they are 2 7/8, so my 1 inch brings it to 3 7/8, and then it will be scored at 1/2 inch on either end and then glued inside. So for the various panels, or the various, I'm going to determine where my back piece is going to be, because that will be staying tall like so. So I want that tab to be in the back. So I'll mark this as my back panel. So that is the back panel. Then the others will all be decorated as well. For this piece, we can actually go ahead and bring in these layers and mats. I've got a piece that is cut at 2.5 by 5 3/4, and that is going to go onto the back of this first panel here, and that we can use for our message or our sentiment. If we want to stamp, we can do that. I'm going to place this down, and that's going to give that some stability so that it stays erect, but it will still fold flat for posting. I'm going to put that in there, like so. And I'm just going to spread that glue out a bit. Now on the inside, we're going to place these two pieces. I've got a mat and a layer. And that mat, again, is 2.5 by 5 3/4. And our layer is 2 1/4 by 5 1/2. So what I want to do is go ahead and place the layer on the mat first, and then I'll glue both of them down at the same time onto that back panel. So I'm going to just leave that little border there, and again I'm using scraps from my American Craft card. Little projects like this are just ideal for using up scrap pieces. I'm going to put this down now. Okay, I've stopped there because I'm going to put this one on last, because I can then put the tab in and then close it up. So I just set that aside for now. Now on the inside, these inside pieces here, apart from this back piece, are going to have these mats, and they have been cut. I'll show you on the piece here. They are 2 3/4 by 2 5/8, and they will fit here like this. Okay, and then that blue card will actually be the sort of frame for it. So I'm going to put those down first. Now for these pieces here, which are going to come out over the top here, and which are going to be quite prominent, I've chosen this green cardstock, again the American Craft, and these measure 2 5/8 by 2 3/4, the same as these pieces here, but then they have a mat or a layer to them as well, and that is 2 3/8 by 2 1/2. So they're going to go onto the mat like so. And what I've done is staggered them. So I've 2 of the cars and 2 of the little bears with the aeroplanes, and those are going to go onto this flap here that folds over. So I'm going to get these glued down, and then I'll put them on the box. I'm going to go ahead and put these layers down as well onto these mats, and again they are the same size as the green ones. I'm ready to put those down then, and keeping in mind where that tab is going to be, I'm going to have my little teddy on the front, and then the cars are going to be on the side like that. My measurements are a little off there, as well as this one, but I'm not going to let it bother me too much. I think I may have been cutting this while I was sleep deprived. So we just get this last one down here. They're not that close to each other, so you probably aren't going to take too much notice of that. Okay. The last bit will be the little stars. And again, those are the 2 3/4 by 2 5/8. And they are just going to go on here like that. And prepare the strips here that we have for the various elements, and as I said, these will be scored at 1/2 inch, so I'm just going to score it and then turn it and score it again, and I'll do that on all 3 pieces. Let's bring in our card. with our tab going here like that, and this becoming our back piece, these are now going to go in here like that. So as I said, you could just place them in there after you have this together, but I'm going to glue them down now. If I get into any difficulty, I can always put them down again. I'm going to determine where I want these pieces to be, and I'm thinking I don't want it all the way to the back there. I'm going to bring it out a bit. So actually just use one of these little lines in here as my guide. So that green line there, I'm going to have it attached there. And I'm going to use the red liner tape again, as well as the glue. That's our first piece down. And then I'm going to go and put the adhesive on the other two pieces, and I'll be right back. The next piece, I'm going to keep it even with that first piece, but I will have a little gap between them. So, do that should be about just a little over a quarter of an inch, maybe. That one might be a bit close to the front. Actually, I think that's going to be okay because I can put things behind it as well. So I think I'm going to go ahead and put my tab down, and then I'll place those in afterwards. So I've got some double-sided tape here. I'm going to run along this tab, and then I'll put some glue on there as well. Give it a little more security. This will give it instant grab, and then we can have the glue to give it the added strength over time. Oops. I think I just put that on the wrong side, didn't I? It doesn't matter because that's going to get the panel glued on there. So my brain is getting ahead of me, I think. Or not engaging at all, one or the other. So, oops, I don't want to have that go down on there. Going to fold that over. Let it take hold. be sure that this bottom here is even. We can get these bits into place. So as I said, I think I got a little too close with that one. But I'm going to leave it as it is. And take these backings off. It just naturally wants to grab in the right place. There we are. All those are in place. We've got our tall back here now. It's all reinforced. And we have our little flaps here. Now, we need to decide what we're going to put in the middle here. And if we're going to just use card strips, or we could use acetate as well, which is very nice because it gives more or less a floating sort of feel to the pop-up. So let me go see what I have and I'll be back. I've prepared a few pieces that I can get started with, and what I'm going to do, first I'm going to put this happy birthday here in the now. For these other bits, I'm going to start building the inside. So what I've got are some strips of acetate, and I just had these in my stash. I usually pull them out of packaging that I get and hold on to them. I want to have this at the back, and he can actually be like so, and I want to see how, let's see if I want to get this into, just make sure of the height. So at the moment it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 inches, and our envelope will be just a little bit bigger, so I don't really want it to come past, too much past this here. That would be enough right there. So let's see what I have for something fairly sturdy. That one's a bit mucky. Let's see what else I've got here. This isn't too bad. I think that would hold up very well there. So we could have this bit on. So where I want to attach it, be like so, and I've got some red liner tape because liquid glue just isn't going to work on acetate, so I need something more substantial. try again. I'm going to go on to this first piece here. Let's see, I'm not going to press it too hard yet, because I want to see where this is going to go. I think that might still be hiding it a bit, so experiment a little bit more. Side flaps. The pop-up box card is complete, and I think it's rather sweet. I can imagine any little boy enjoying getting this as a birthday card, and hopefully displaying it for a long time to come. To everyone who stopped by to watch this tutorial today on how to make the pop-up box card, it is the second in the 5-part series of pop-up cards, and I'll be back very soon with number 3. As ever, please stay safe. I'll see you again soon. Crafty hugs. Bye.